My name's Charlie Morley, author of Do the Shadow Work, dropping April the 1st in all formats worldwide. And these are my top 5 reasons why you should do the shadow work. The first major benefit of doing the shadow work is more authenticity. Shadow work's been part of my spiritual practice and self-development for over 15 years now. So do I have a fully integrated shadow? Absolutely not. Have I faced and embraced all of my inner demons? Not a chance. I had no idea I had so many until I started this work. So what have I got? What have I got to show for it? I am way more authentic now than I used to be. Shadow work is about going to the places that scare us in order to find the Buddha within. It's about moving into those places within us that we're scared to go. And by doing that, you see that what you've got, everybody else has got. And you can stop turning up wearing such a thick mask. You can be more authentic, more real, and learn to love what I call your magnificent messiness. Shadow work is about acceptance. But acceptance doesn't mean that we condone or approve of the content of our shadow. But it means we go, okay, this is me right now. And from this place of acceptance, I can now move forward into deep shadow integration and a deep love of my own magnificent messiness. The second core benefit of doing the shadow work is more energy. Bulletproof coffee, ice baths, Wim Hof breathing, microdosing are all great. But if you want access to a sustained source of energy within yourself, look to your shadow. The shadow is simply made of energy. So every time you integrate a shadow aspect, that energy is released back into your psychophysical system, leading to a feeling of uplift or bounce as that energy re-enters your system. Now, you probably felt a little microdose of this sort of shadow integration every time you've shared a secret or a shameful aspect of yourself with a friend. Now, as long as that friend listened with compassionate acceptance, after sharing that secret with a friend, you probably felt a feeling of uplift, a sense of bounce, a sense of, oh, I should have shared that so much earlier. It wasn't this terrible thing. They actually still love me. I'm actually still okay. That feeling of energy that you get after engaging in that process is a little microdose of how shadow integration works. Once we step into our authenticity and are ready to share ourselves fully and authentically, the energy found within our shadow is released back and we feel it. The third core benefit of doing the shadow work is more compassion. And the compassion I speak of here is less an activity and more an attitude towards life that strives to see the Buddha beneath the bullshit in every person we meet. Doing the shadow work asks us to be more compassionate to ourselves and others because shadow work asks us to look at the parts of ourselves that we are hiding from ourselves and others. And once you go into that place and you start looking at your fears, your shame, your trauma, you realize everybody else is probably working with the same stuff. And that although we may not be in the same boat, we are in the same storm. We are in the storm of the human condition, of the unenlightened state in which we will make mistakes, and we do have an unintegrated shadow, and we are all trying our best. Once you look at your shadow, you really get that. Everybody's trying their best. We have no idea what anybody else is going through. Most of us don't even know what we're going through. But once you start looking at your shadow and diving deep into your psyche, showing love to what you find there, you can start to show love to others much more easily too. The fourth core benefit of doing the shadow work is more spiritual growth. Full integration of both the dark and the golden shadow is not just a prerequisite for awakening, it's synonymous with it. There is a direct correlation between how far we have been willing to go into our shadow and integrate it and show love to all the parts of ourselves which we have hitherto denied, and how close to these stages of awakening we can get. Not everyone believes this though. Some people believe that being spiritual is all about smiling and putting good vibes only on your socials and denying that you have any shadow side at all. That may work for some people, but in my opinion, that is a recipe for spiritual bypassing. This is a term that's thrown around a lot, right? So what does it mean? Spiritual bypassing is the neglecting or overlooking of our naturally unenlightened human traits in favor of a hitherto unattainable spiritual ideal. So basically, we act like we don't have any shadow, we keep smiling, and we hope people believe it. Yeah, that's a one-way ticket to suppression and the depression that comes from suppression. Shadow work is the opposite of that. It asks us to move deeply into the places that scare us, to shine light onto the sides of ourselves that we don't like. And by doing that, we learn to love the whole of ourselves. And of course, loving the whole of ourselves is the aim of spiritual practice. The fifth core benefit of doing the shadow work is more changing the world. Now, this one may seem a little bit extra, but I really believe it's true. You are an interdependently linked being. So every change you make to yourself will in some way change those around you. We've seen this, right? We start to do self-development work or spiritual practice, and the effects of that immediately dovetail out onto those around us. Our friends and family see that we're less irritable, that we're kinder, we've got a better sense of humor, we don't take ourselves as seriously as we used to. That has a really big effect. As my Buddhist teacher Lama Yeshe once told me, the only way to change the world is to change yourself. And shadow work is all about this. It's about making this deep, lasting change and showing love to the parts within us that we usually do not love. That's the essence of shadow work. So thank you for watching these top 5 core benefits of doing the shadow work. The book drops on April the 1st, available in all formats worldwide. Please enjoy it and enjoy doing the shadow work.